Since they were appointed by District Court Chief Judge Francis Tydenko Gatewood in March of 2008, Federal Receiver Gershman, Brickner, and Bratton and its representatives have been paid close to $8 million for their work. With the exception of March and April 2008 billings, the receiver has billed in excess of $200,000 in labor expenses and fees consistently every month for the last 3.5 years. It's a figure that GBB Special Principal Associate David Manning maintains is completely justified.
The total cost to Guam for the receivership has been a savings, really. There hasn't been a cost because we reduced the cost of the solid waste operations, even including our additional cost, to below where it was when we arrived.
When the receiver began, they were charging hourly rates of between $250 an hour for the company's top representatives and $60 an hour for an administrative secretary and $45 an hour for clerical support. The start of the receivership came at a time when the Solid Waste Management Division was in complete disarray. Ordered residents were beyond frustrated over the consistent fires that broke out at the dump due to a lack of daily cover, and GovGuam was paying hundreds of thousands of dollars each year to rent equipment while residents were complaining about missed trash pickups. While things have certainly improved and the gates to the Order dump will finally be locked at the end of this month, as ordered by Judge Tydenko Gatewood, the receiver has now essentially gotten raises. Recent billings show the hourly rates have increased from $250 an hour to $260 an hour for executives and $60 an hour to $62.40 for administrative secretaries.
The original agreement with the court allowed for an increase in those rates annually, or based on inflation. Now, working with the court, we waived that for 2 out of the 3 years. But 1 year, the court did allow an increase in those rates for 1 year.
A review of the receiver's billings also show that Guam taxpayers are footing the bill for the company's representatives to fly business class every time they come to Guam. According to the receipts filed with the court, those tickets cost between $4,600 and more than $5,800 for every trip to the territory.
Because that's what federal rules allow for people who are traveling that far. After I've been out there several times, I may accumulate enough miles for one free ticket for that distance. Well, I don't get the benefit of that free ticket. Basically, it covers the cost of my next trip out.
Many of the invoices show that the receiver has charged the people of Guam considerable amounts of money for reading emails from vendors, reviewing documents during travel to Guam, and of course having meetings to discuss the new landfill. But in the minutia of the details, an administrative secretary who makes $60 an hour billed residents to make time conversion cards, and we paid another $120 for her to pick up boarding passes for receiver representatives to travel to Guam. Then there's the many breakfast, lunch, and dinner meetings that we paid for, not just for the meals themselves, but also the labor costs for the actual meetings. $105 for dinner at Tumon Bay Lobster Grill, $103 at Downtown Q's for 3 receiver representative meals, $110 for a meal in Hawaii with Wagdi Gurgis, GMP, and GRRP, a steak dinner for one person at more than $63, and lodging at the Royal Hawaiian at $266 a night. From the coffee they drink to the meals they eat, taxi rides, the monthly rent for a condo at the Hagåtña Beach condominiums, cell phone and utility bills, rental cars, and even groceries, you paid for it. I found receipts for groceries and laundry detergent, mouthwash, toothpaste, and shaving cream. Is that normal?
Yeah, it is in the sense that if you were staying in a hotel, all of that stuff, for the most part, would be provided to you. It's allowable under the per diems as a living cost. People who are living in Guam, I mean, for the most part, that relates to people who are there almost all the time. But as long what the arrangement is we have to come in under that per diem.
Under the agreement with the court, the receiver uses the federal contractors on Guam per diem rate as a ceiling for their daily expenses.
And to whatever the number is below that in terms of actual cost is what we are actually reimbursed, not the per diem. It could never go above the per diem.
Now, despite what some may believe are questionable costs and billings, we should note that all of the invoices are reviewed and approved by Judge Tydenko Gatewood. Although the people of Guam have paid millions for the receivership, GBB contends they've substantially saved the government of Guam money to the tune of more than $17.7 million to effectively operate the Solid Waste Management Division, deliver services to customers, and achieve compliance with the consent decree. GBB is scheduled to present its quarterly status report to the court on August 31st, the same day the court intends to see the gates of the Orta dump chained up as the new Dandan landfill begins accepting trash. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Mindy Egan.